So it's us again, me, Reginaldo,
Lerato.
Mela.
on the Young People's Stock of the Nation. I mean, this is like the Young People's Stock of the Nation. And we're here again to talk about issues that matter to us as young people.
Yes.
Right?
As millennials.
So,
Are we millennials? I always get so confused between the millennials and the Generation Z.
I don't know
Which
those
one
things.
is?
Please
Which
don't
one
claim
is-
your age on
No, but okay.
live television.
Okay.
But
I'm just
I'm a
asking.
millennial, I'm not sure.
No, but can we kind of define those things?
Yeah, 'cause
I wanna
I really
where
want to know,
I know
hey.
that I fall under the millennials, but like, what is a millennial, and then what is like a born free? I know born free is
Okay.
like
But
from 90. Okay, the original born frees are from 1990 to be maybe 2000. Those are the original born frees. Then the 89s, I don't know the way they fall under. Yeah, but then the millennials in the born frees. What is
But
a millennial?
millennials
are
technically
born
not
frees.
born frees. Yes, they
Some
are.
of them.
Yeah, wait,
Most of them.
millennials is a like a 30-year period, right? So I think it's from
So you
1981 until maybe somewhere in 2000.
We need to Google those things.
Okay, let's Google it then.
Yeah, no,
Can you have a
I feel
phone?
like
Can we have Google? Google, please.
we learned all of this in school just to forget it now.
I know it's from 1980 to 2000 and something. I think. Let's go.
Get your search engine on, Mila.
Okay, so millennials. Wait. Okay. So there are 4 generations. Google says right now. So you have the silent generation, born between 1928 to 1945. They are about 90 years old now. Then you have the baby boomers, born between 1946 to 1964. Then you have Generation X, born between 1965 to 1980. So those are some of our parents who are 53 years old. My parents are baby boomers. but
That's
yeah.
generation?
X.
Okay.
Then you have Generation Y or millennials. Those are born between 1981, yay Reggie, to 1996. So they are between the ages of 22 to 37. And then you have Generation Z, which is now from 1996 to 2000 and something. Yep.
Okay.
And I guess,
So we are Generation Y.
do you think that our behavior is affected by the period that we grew up in?
Definitely.
Yeah?
Yeah, because we have a little bit of that old school but new school within us. We are like a mixture because not all of us really conform to like the way that you were brought up so strictly. You know, it's like you're okay with your parents' strictness to a certain level. You know, that's just how I feel about it. Because you get kids that are so, like some people's kids that just want to kick, like so out of the way. And then you get people that are really in line and, you know, it's like a little bit of some spice.
Yeah. I think millennials are, or we are everything. We can be everything and anything. Because now we're parents, we're married, we CEOs, we CFOs and all those things. But I do think the period to which you were born influences how you think and behave.
Yeah,
Sometimes, because I mean, you were not exposed to that world of the baby boomers and the silent generation, so you don't know what they
went
the
through.
world wars, the industrial revolutions, and
True.
all those. So we are a little bit different. If you compare yourself to the generation after us, it's young kids now who are 20, 21, 19. They're also a little bit different.
Very
from us.
different. Yes.
Yeah, I guess it makes sense. Because the period, like what you go through in life molds who you become. So I think because of what people went through at that time in life, and people at that time experienced it together. So maybe it's the music at that time. People were listening to Cisco and stuff like that. So
Lucky Dube.
you can relate to Cisco how I can relate to Cisco because at that time we were probably almost the same age. So I guess then and there's certain things that we understand as a common group because we went through that period and we were at that age.
And you are very expressive. Look at yourself.
Who, me?
The way we dress, the way our house
It's
looks
true.
like, the cars. We're very
It's true.
expressive how we speak.
And the way that tattoos have like become such a fashion style type of thing, like having a tattoo is almost like wearing the new pair of Yeezys or something like that. It's so different, but it's so nice to have actually lived through such a time. We went from wearing hipsters to like wearing, those block shoes to school.
Which are coming back,
Yeah,
by
which
the
are
way.
coming back. And then you're like ready from like grade 3 to go to grade 7. Then you come away with grasshoppers. It's just, we had so much of the like freedom, but also a little bit of like, would you say exclusivity? Like where your parents also kind of tried to hold you back because they also came from something, like just how we are also going through something. So it's really, I would just say, really had the best of the time growing up.
I don't know.
Because we were free to do what we could do.
I think like even the born frees would argue against you because I just feel like there's something special in every period you go through, you understand? So they'll be like, no, us, we were at the part now where technology was the one and it was the ish and it was happening. And then we're moving into that other time where now cell phones were even about to disappear and it's just like a hologram that comes out, So they'll be bragging about that and be like, our time was nice. That time we used to twerk. And we used to, the dances that they do, and we're just like, what are these people doing? What are they doing? That's not how you dress. But that's because we can't relate to them. So to them, it's like, we were cool, and our time was the best.
It's true, and our parents were like, we were cool, and our time was the best. Because we had the LPs, we had the records, they used to.
But I feel if you look at the financial aspects, I think our parents had it easier to what we have it now. I think as time is progressing, things are becoming worse. Back then our parents had it like they had homes at a younger age. Things were cheaper. But like for us, it's like as ironic as it is that we are supposed to be like progressing with technology and we're supposed to be progressing as a race and as a species, but like it seems like things are actually becoming harder than becoming easier, as well as
options.
And
you need to keep up with all of them.
But don't you think that also has to do with like back in the time, like we're talking like stone ages, because they say that we come from the genome species of the hunter-gatherers, which meant that like literally like the man had to go out, to find the food. He had to find a way of means. He had to get rid of all the animals and stuff and then hunt as much food as they can and so on for them. And and that's kind of in a sense maybe like we're hoarding, because like we feel sometimes like we want to get to gain so much stuff and like have so many things like in the name of security. So
why do you think we're hoarding?
Because we want to gain that sense of like, okay, I have
security.
A home.
But
I have a roof.
it's because we're being told that there's scarcity. You need to understand that as well. At the end of the day, you must understand that what's most important for human beings is that you just need food and water. Everything else is no, but it's true. Everything else is just a luxury. It's just true. Media that sells it to you. Like you need that, And then you must understand that people are different. People have different interests and likes. So what you want, I don't want. You're probably interested in fashion. I'm not. I'm probably interested in bicycles and stuff. So not everybody will be interested in everything. But I feel like we live in a world that has so much abundance and resources. But people are just sold a concept of scarcity in their minds, and they think that there is not enough when there is enough. You understand?
But what is enough? Because if you think of just the themes from all those years, the hunter-gatherers age era was about survival. Then we got into the freedom, we colonized. Now we're moving into our parents wanted to provide for us. Education is the way to independence and whatnot. And then you have us who we have so many, and I agree with you fully because there's so many things that you need to keep up with. So many things that you feel like, okay, I have my car and that's enough. Then Reggie moves somewhere to Kleine Cooper or whatever, now you need to keep up with that. Then you
you're
hear
like, oh,
Reggie is
shit.
going to study somewhere in the UK and
now
you want
you
to keep
also
up.
want
So we're exposed to so much that you can't define enough, because there's so many things being thrown at you.
Yeah.
You must kind of step back and say, okay, so what is enough for me?
necessary? And
So
what
Mila, what is the question here, or what?
I'm just saying,
Yeah,
the definition of enough is relative to
it's
the
relative
person.
to persons. Yeah,
Because your enough is water and food and electricity, but my enough is, having that good job, that fancy car, being able to travel, doing this. I don't really care if I have bread in the house, because I want to sit at a restaurant, and that for me is enough. So that is tricky, because then you have a parent who thinks enough is having all these things. Then you have Reggie who thinks enough is just there's food, there's water, there's electricity. You sorted.
yeah.
It's conflicting.
But
actually.
and okay, funny enough is that a lot of things that we talk about now kind of intertwine and link with things that we spoke about last time. So somehow it will kind of seem like I'm being a little bit repetitive, but not really. But basically, I think that the same concept applies now. So I think because of how people, or at least how the media is portraying things, it's like people are being taken away from who they really are. You understand? So people are not growing up knowing and wanting what they really want. They grow up knowing and wanting what they are being told to want. And that's the problem that we've had with our time, or at least with my time growing up, and the people, and I guess my parents as well, the systems that were put in place were kind of wrong, where people were not really about themselves, but they were about other people. And I see it's kind of changing now. I can see with these young ones, everybody is trying to be an individual. Everybody's being their own identity, everybody's being their own face. But then now, basically, like to answer Mila's question as enough is relative. Yes, enough is relative. Even if your enough is defined by what you really want. Basically, what you really want will always be different from what I really want. So it's subjective, yeah. So it'll always be different for everyone. But at least I feel that when our enough is actually centered or rooted, our compass is basically based on who you really are, and your real values or your real morals, and to satisfy you as a human being and your purpose as to why you are here, then we will not clash as people.
I agree.
But then I feel like then maybe we don't really know who we are, or haven't really found ourselves. That kind of what
basically, in a nutshell, we are I hope people don't take it the wrong way, but we are a group, a society. People don't really know what they want. And I mean, it's obvious to see, because what happens is, if Chris Brown wears a long t-shirt, after a while everybody's wearing a long t-shirt. So what does that mean? People are following what he's doing. People are not following.
Influence.
Yeah, it's the age of influence. Yes.
The power through social media.
Yes, but now you as an individual, you need to also understand, you need to filter what you allow to influence you. And it has to be influenced because you really like it, and not influenced because you're trying to identify yourself with something that's not true.
And I get that, but I'm just saying, isn't it so interesting and crazy that that's like the day and age that we live in now, like the internet, the technology, everything is so, basically it's like at the tip of your fingertips. You can literally lay in bed, make a call, and your food gets to you. You can, log into something, type a few buttons, and then boom, you can be Google, you can be Twitter, and you can be Instagram anytime you want to. That's literally how we are right now.
It's not bad. It's really not bad. It's convenience for all of us. But now you guys are making me think, do you ever reach a point where you know yourself fully and you say, this is who I am and this is it? Or are we ever changing and evolving, that if a Chris Brown comes and I just feel that that's how I want to express myself, I adapt to that. But it doesn't necessarily mean I've entirely changed who I am because of the influence of social media.
Okay, yeah, that's
I'm starting to think in my head
it's
now.
an interesting, actually, I don't know if it's a topic, it's an interesting remark that you mentioned there, Mela. also, like, we need to understand that we as people, we have different interests and likes, and so some people resonate or they relate very well with Chris Brown. So that's why they would ride on that wagon, which makes sense. But it's just that I don't know. Maybe what I need to say is that people need to make sure that what their interest is core-driven to who they really are.
Yes. That's your, like
your
you said,
values.
that's your
But
compass.
now,
morals.
it needs to always stay within your personal compass. But then we have to ask also, how do you know when it's the right stuff? How do you know when it's the wrong stuff? Because we are exposed, like you said, we have all this media
Like
at the tip of our fingers. How do you know that what you're watching is a good influence and what you're watching is a bad influence?
You know what's my trick is what am I learning, and whatever I'm watching or seeing, or be it music, be it what am I learning, and what of this can I use? There's no right or wrong. It's just what of this can I use. If I can't use anything, I'll watch it anyway so that I'm informed and I know about it. But I move on. Those two questions for me are very important. What am I learning, and what from this can I take? Be it a tweet, be it somebody's WhatsApp status or Insta story. There's always something that you're learning.
From
that's
some-
kind of you putting it in your
brain.
toolkit, at the back of your head that you use sometime in your future or even in the next 2 to 3
sorry for
days.
interrupting you. Actually, something that's interesting that I've realized lately is that you can actually read a book with your phone without even knowing it. Like on YouTube, like just the videos that you decide to watch. It's like basically it's like reading a book, and then you must be very how do I put this? You must be very careful. Oh, how did you know I was going to say that?
Because
You must be very careful at how much the subconscious really picks up. So I don't know if I'm giving it out as a tip or anything, but like whether you're in the gym or you're gymming, like you can listen to audiobooks. You can watch YouTube videos. Like these are like informative
That
ways
you
of
can
getting
do.
information.
I hear
Speaking of the media and
But
stuff.
don't you feel like sometimes you would be more drawn to doing what you want or what you like naturally? Like me, I don't like books on like a device. I prefer the modern
Actual
touch,
paper,
reading the book, putting it away, coming back to it, I prefer that rather than, swiping left or right
You see,
or whatever.
again
to read a book.
now, like you said, the era that we grew up in. So it's basically both like the future kids and the past kids. So you're about that traditional paper.
Actually,
I'm more
not.
about the listening to it and getting it.
the
So you see,
I
nostalgic
get
and
you,
the
but
futurist.
actually not, because you'd actually find somebody who's about now, like we've established we are generation Y and their generation Z. Okay, like for instance, you'll find somebody born in the generation Z era would also still prefer to read a book, rather than
no,
read it
obviously it's
on a
preference
tablet
based
or
on your
something.
personality, your character, how you were brought up. But what I'm trying to say is you find two different people, Like some are appreciating like reading through the social media, and you would rather use a
Read the
whole
book.
book. Yeah.
So we have freedom of
Speech.
choice.
Choice. Okay.
You got me.
So what we're talking about? We're talking about social media. Let's talk about social
The
media.
influence of
issues.
social media.
Influencers, the influence, like what's happening in your social media life? Like, do you have social media issues, maybe problems?
I actually don't social media. I'm not a social media person.
But you don't have social media?
No, I do. But
Do you go on social media?
Not all the time.
Okay, do you think the
Like-
time that you go on social media is like sufficient for you?
It's way sufficient.
You
It's
don't
like
you don't go overboard?
twice in a day, but like for like short periods of time. The only social media I do probably mostly is WhatsApp. I have like a footprint with WhatsApp. I won't lie. But Facebook,
I think
I hate Facebook.
I think WhatsApp
Sorry.
I think WhatsApp has moved to a point whereby it's not like social media anymore. WhatsApp is like normal messaging. Like you know how
It's just
how
a broadcast.
yeah, it's just it makes it more accessible because now you can send a message to someone who's in England and not have to pay much and just pay data because like you know how you wouldn't really like WhatsApp your boss or WhatsApp like your pastor, you know,
Yeah.
you'd rather send them a
text.
conventional text
True.
message. But now it's moving to the point where like WhatsApp is like a necessity where would actually WhatsApp your pastor and not think that you're being too informal.
Invasive.
Like when last have you sent a text?
Yeah, people barely send text messages, so people are moving with times, and data is becoming the thing. Do you think? Okay, let's not talk about mobile
Don't you hate people
providers.
that send you a text and a WhatsApp, but it's the same thing sent at the same time?
I don't know if someone has done that.
I just
It
have
annoys
people who message me, but for me, I'm just like, just WhatsApp. But people are like, why do you have an iPhone if you can't use iMessage? Yeah. So,
But it's also a nice way to talk to people, like you're saying, for like a cheaper price, people abroad. Because what I feel like WhatsApp does what a phone, you always thought a phone could do, you know? Like your phone has a front camera thing and everything. And when you dial on the dial pad to make a normal call, there's also that video call option. But it's the, I'm sorry to say, but it's the cackest
But
thing
don't you
ever.
think it's
I love
actually
video
wait,
call.
it's
No, but
interesting. You know how people say that we actually only use 30% of a gadget that you own,
Yeah.
and the 70% is just a whole lot of things that is attached to it that you actually don't use, which kind of makes sense to what you're saying now. Is that you know how a phone you can't actually use the front camera to call anyone. Like there's a lot of the features that you can't
That you
use,
can't do
but you
without
actually
having an app for that. It's like your phone basically can only perform a functionality if there is a program installed to it. Like, and now you actually have to pay for that program also. So it's
how they actually try and make money out of us without
through
us
everything.
without us knowing.
Through everything.
I hope people actually pick up that you know as or at least when I'm getting older, is like you shouldn't just receive things naively, you know.
Always
Like
filter.
you should filter everything that comes to you, especially the mere fact that we have like the media at our fingertips, you know. So people will be like, yeah, there are 2 billion people in Namibia. Let's say, for example, you need to question it as well. You need to ask where the source comes from. Someone can just put something on the internet and put a logo that says CNN, and then it's oh my God, it's
CNN.
news. You know, you think it's CNN. I'm not saying that's what they're doing, but it's just to tell people that not everything you see on social media, even if it looks real, is real. It's called scamming. People scam people.
It's also appearance versus reality.
Exactly.
Like I take a picture of me like in this sissy boy outfit, and I'm like wearing heels and everything.
Okay,
Good
that's,
background,
I
everything.
think now we're getting the issues that we're having with social media.
First of all, no.
So is it now peer pressure on another level? On
Definitely, because back in the day,
if
if you think of bullying was just something that happened within your jurisdiction, you know, like your district. Like it's either at school or it's at home or it's like when you go visit. Now, people can bully you on the internet. Like you don't even know me from a bar of soap, but you are talking shit about me and you're like in a completely different country, you know. So it's like people feel so comfortable to even attack you online. So it has its good perks and then it has its bad perks. So
for me, the beauty of social media, is that somebody, let's say in Ndangwa, in a village somewhere, is connected to somebody who is in Nigeria somewhere. So that connectedness, so people are more informed, and I can't say we're all at the same level of understanding or knowledge or knowing things, but we're getting big, especially in Africa. I mean, somebody in Okahau somewhere, when will they ever get an opportunity to travel to Nigeria? It could be in 10 odd years. So that part I like about social media.
Okay, Mela, before you ask me, I know you want to ask me something about social media, but anyways, with social media, just like everything has its pros and cons, and I won't lie, social media has come with a lot of benefits, especially the availability of information. Like people are becoming a lot more exposed and knowledgeable to things. Like you don't need to go to London to see the latest fashion. You don't need to go to Angola to hear the latest music. Like if it drops in, you can hear it here now. So people are being exposed to a lot, which is good, which then eventually makes people change, you know, and change for the better. But then people should just know that with the as much as it's good and the media is there, people are also being given false
information
and false information. And so it's for people to look at it, filter it, and question it, and not just accept, oh, who killed a child?
And
oh,
then
let's
it's
go,
bad.
let's go. Because you don't know how. And also, maybe people should also just be told about how they should be moral and not just spread things because they can. Because you don't know what harm you could cause by spreading information.
You're now reminding me of that thing. It was that can I call it a meme? It's not really a meme. It's just an imagery where there was an accident and everyone else is taking videos and pictures and nobody's actually calling the ambulance or the police to help. So it's also that harm where you find out your child was an accident through social media.
I've seen a photo like that also.
Yeah.
Where it's like somebody's dead and then people are just
you
like
guys
with their
coming
phone.
for us because we like social media?
No!
you have a purpose and a plan for your social media. I'm hoping.
No.
And I wanted to ask you, what issues do you have with social media? Because it seems, or it appears to be working for you.
I knew you had a question for me.
I'm just, yes.
Your social media and me now. Social media. It's done me good also a lot.
Helps you with
I
your
need
brain.
to learn, right now I need to learn. I've actually taught myself to balance. I can post through the day, and if someone maybe questions why I like posting, is that I like enjoying experiences. So if I feel happy at that moment, I want to share it with someone. So it's like food, it's like music. You want to share food, you want to share music, you want to share moments. So I enjoy sharing my moments with the world, like especially when it's a moment that I feel is nice, or when I see, oh, that looks so dope, let me take a picture, let me show, I want people to appreciate the moment, or I want people to hear the music that's playing in the background. So it came of me basically just showing people what I appreciate, but then I've noticed that people relate and people actually engage with me, which is nice. It's nice to know.
You have your crowd.
Yeah.
Don't let anybody tell you why you're posting so much.
Yeah.
You can click and say, unfollow, unlike,
you'll be
mute.
surprised because you'll find one, oh, you are posting so much. But when you don't post, then we're like, and now, why are you not posting? Now I've got another one like, please stop posting food. I'm on a diet. So now you're posting too much food. You're making me want to eat. So there'll always be someone that will say something. And it's like that in life with whatever you, basically I'm giving advice. With whatever you do.
But that's true.
Whether if you decide to become a designer, right? You'd always find that one or two people that won't be satisfied with you.
What you
but now what you need to understand is you need to actually focus on that one or two people that appreciate you. You understand? That is what you need to focus on, because that will bring you more people that will appreciate you. Understand? So,
but people are not consistent with their appreciation and loyalty. If I'm following Reggie, for instance, I'll follow him and like him and be all hyped about him, and then he's annoying me. So it's also hard to find that one or two people that are fixed. Just go along with those one or two people that, even if they change, even if it becomes one or two people, different people in the next month, move with those people.
And that's like changes.
Because we're not consistent. I would love this brand so much today. Something comes up, influences me, or somebody says, Reggie, irriteert eindelijk for me. Just trigger something in my mind and I said, okay, I'm also done with him. So it's move with those who are moving with
you. But it's nice.
Let them leave because it allows more people to
I'm
come.
actually excited, and it's interesting as to how social media is influencing our everyday life today.
Definitely.
And so there's a lot of business opportunities that are going to arise from social media. And you need to even understand that if there's even areas that we haven't even explored yet, so there's more to come.
And to be shown.
Yeah, like there's going to be maybe a whole even study on social media, a whole field on it. There'll be social media law and certain things that will come into training.
You're so smart.
No, but it's true, So as much as people, it's better, especially like, for example, now in our country, corporates kind of don't really have an understanding of the influence of social media. And you'd be surprised that a lot of corporate people actually do use social media, because a lot of them are on Facebook. A lot of them are. I see a lot of the grown-ups are now on WhatsApp.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's their Instagram.
It's
you
true.
know, that's where they keep. I mean, informed with
Yeah.
other people, and it's interesting if you step a bit back, you'll understand that a lot of people, it's become sort of a necessity in
Yes.
life. And when something becomes sort of a necessity, you must understand that there's also a lot of importance that has to be put into that area. So it's interesting, guys.
There is power in social media, and if it works for you, then you should make it work.
Make it happen.
People are getting paid for posting YouTube videos. People are getting paid for posting, pictures on Instagram. It's also become like a job, You need to post a certain thing at a certain time.
We need to also, people also need to learn that exposure does not pay.
Oh,
True.
Yes, exposure doesn't always pay, and people need to sometimes respect other people and respect their brands, and not just think that, oh no, all they do is post, it's not important. No, it's a business as well, and people need to consider other people. You can't just be using people, and expect.
you must not allow yourself to be.
No, obviously, yes, but you still find people that will come and like, no, but yeah, it's for exposure and what, but exposure doesn't always pay. And we need to realize that. And we just, not just the mere fact of thinking of the value of it, but just the mere fact of how you want to progress as a society.
Yeah.
You need to feed your brother and you need to feed your sister in order for them to feed another brother, in order to get things going and moving. I think we are going through an economic hiccup, and it's where we need to observe, look around, and learn from our past mistakes.
Yeah.
And innovate.
Yeah, as much as people might think, what money, but life needs to go on, and we need to progress in the system, and we need to work together somehow.
Yeah.
But we will.
Yeah.
Eventually.
No, a friend of mine. Okay, no, I won't say it. It's a bit harsh.
But now that you said a friend of mine, I have two friends. They take pictures and videos of everything. And just yesterday I read this page, Yo Nzanzi. I say. They posted something, said, take pictures of your friends when they are sleeping, eating, drinking, dancing, enjoying their music or their moments. Because those are the moments that matter, and we forget them. I mean, we can't rely on
I don't know if you guys feel this. No, you finished
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
first.
no, I'm done. It's just take
I don't know if you
those
guys have experiences, but like, have you ever taken a picture and when someone shows it to you or you look at it, you're like, I look so ugly. I don't like this picture.
Yeah.
What? And then come 3, 4, 5 years down the line, and you're like, oh, look at me. I was so young. Look, I look so nice. Oh, I actually look good. Like, why did I think I didn't look good? Like, and that's how I've learned to appreciate taking pictures, because it's you capturing moments. It's you capturing memories,
When you see that picture,
and
you
it's
read
things
them.
that you come appreciate when time goes by. And such simple things are things that we should actually appreciate, because we're living in the time where you can actually just take a picture with a click of your hand. And back then you had to get a whole camera. You only have 32 takes, and you have to get them right.
And
If
then
you pose wrong, it's wrong, and then they have to be washed, and you only get them like a
later.
month later,
But at least you have memories that you can hold on
Hold,
to.
yeah. No, but
No.
you can still
USB,
get that now.
Someone's like, let me just get the series and I give it back to you, then it's gone.
Yeah.
You lose a computer, something crashes, so then you lose those pictures, your phone gets stolen. But with like a picture being taken and it's given to you, like it's a tangible thing, you put it in an album, that is timeless for me.
But babe, you can still print
She's
your
so
pictures.
nostalgic.
I am, ne?
You can still print your
Yes, that
pictures.
Yeah, no, but that's the thing. Okay, you can, eh?
Print
you
your
can print your
favorites.
pictures. Yes.
Oh, life is so beautiful.
It is. Hey.
Depends how you look at it.
Yes, because we didn't bash social media today. Which is another angle, so that's nice.
Yeah, actually, speaking of which,
But it's a good place.
the
like, to
positive
promote.
of social media.
There is.
You can
power.
pick and pay now, you can buy
Powerful.
online. So those platforms are good. We won't have shops and
Yeah,
banks and,
it's true.
doctors' practices anymore. You guys on the internet and say, I
Oh.
want this
But,
and I want that.
so you did, but you need a doctor. I feel like that's something you would always need.
Yeah,
A
obviously
doctor.
there's certain
Yes,
things that you need, like physical contact, you know.
Yeah.
Yes.
But-
You're making me scared here. Come on, don't need a doctor.
But you can buy
just
like your flight tickets online, you know.
Yes.
It would be nice even if you could apply for a passport online.
online.
You don't have to get into queues. All you could do is just make a payment, or you can, you know,
Yeah.
even with universities. Oh, this registering for at universities.
Is it not online yet?
But there are times when it's a problem, and then you have to say, "Oh, guys, can we talk about faculty officers? In my next life, I want to become a faculty officer."
Why?
Faculty officers, the beginning of the year, oh my God, they have it good. They are bullies. You will find a whole queue in front of their office. And what are they doing? What do you want now? No, guys, I can't. Faculty officers, you need to bribe them. You need to be like,
that
no,
extra in your
I'll buy
life."
you a cool drink. What? Because the students are, they're suffering, trying to like add subjects, get rid of subjects, and they're just, you know, being kaskok. It's actually, it's interesting, you know. But yeah, the struggle of university.
Sure. And then you get some people who've never been in a lecture hall ever. They've just studied online.
Online.
And I think with time it will even move in that direction. As long as we've just got formal platforms that basically will regard your studies as appropriated and you are fit to do the job. But I think where you get your education doesn't really matter. You can even do it yourself. And I think that's how school is supposed to be set up. You know, whereby I guess I'm going back to a previous topic, but like they need to just equip you with self-growth to a point where
But
when
what
you
would constitute a self-growth now? In a school
environment, yeah. Okay, now the experts need to figure that out. I'm not an expert, but they need to just equip people with self-growth,
I
you
would
know.
say, like, and taxes also.
Was
Teaching
it?
people how to do taxes in school. That should have been like a thing you did in mathematics.
Yeah.
Like,
how to do your taxes.
yes.
How to like what?
I
Like,
honestly
do
I
your
agree.
tax
I
and-
can't feel complete that.
Like, and
form.
it's, you don't know, okay, it's like you know but you don't know. Like, then you have to look at this thing and look at that
Teach
and
me
put
how
in
to
that.
do
I think that was something they needed to teach us in mathematics.
Yeah.
Yes.
I never ever in my life
Never.
of working completed my own
Dude,
taxes.
adulting is hard. Like, you just boom, you like taxes. What the hell? Like,
Where
it's
did
just
it
so
come
many
from?
things. Yes. Things like that they need to teach us. Or, yeah, I think.
Even driving.
Yeah, like in America,
You
most they
want them
have
to teach
driver's
you-
ed as a
You
subject.
want them to teach you how to give your money away to the government.
Otherwise, you go to jail.
True.